Hello everyone and welcome to Rivals Pro, a brand new tournament focusing on a very professional environment from live picks and bans to item bans and the limited map pool of the 7 most popular maps for roulette. Oh, perfect. I think so the worries of the last 10 minutes was the lack of the overlay showing, but it seems that it had to be only populated and now all the worries are gone. And we have a match going in just a couple of minutes now, starting in Hokkaido, and then we go to Berlin, finally Miami. And the way these maps came around is by a live pick and ban process, which we couldn't show you this time, but rest assured soon enough we will see the process shown in other streams by other casters again. And you will see how Jokerj and ThatObserver picked and banned their maps. 7 maps only in this tournament. Basically the 7 most popular maps for roulette. That's a very simple way of saying it. There was a vote back in the day, end of last year, early this year, where all the community members had their say on it. For a hypothetical tournament, the back then hypothetical. And the results came, and I think this is the order. Berlin was voted as the most popular map, followed by Miami, Sapienza, Haven Island, Hokkaido, Whittleton Creek, and Isle of Scale. So for the next 2 weeks, we will see these comps. Yeah. Okay, that was not the nice, already talking about different things with Moody. Definitely the most picked maps can be different, but curious to see how they line up together. 8 seconds until the first spin. No, that was on the delayed screen, but I can see it now. No delays, that we have the first spin here. Eric Soders, Poison the Stem Cells as Jason Portman. Yuki Mazaki Pistol as Amos Dexter. Just need to change a couple things here so that I can control these audios via OBS, so I can maybe hear some of this as well. And Jokerj and ThatObserver are already in as well. Can you guys hear them? Because I can't, but that just means I have to go with... Okay, this should be it. And this is also the sound of ChrisX3 joining. Welcome.
Hello everybody.
We have made it at last to...
I'm very glad that we've made it.
It was a bit...
It was quite an arduous journey to get to this point of the match actually starting, but...
Yeah, the miracles of the first match. And it's pretty early for you as well, so it's added, not stress, but it's probably unhappiness.
A little bit, yeah.
So 3 maps here are potentially up to 3, starting in Hokkaido with a very unique spin in terms of disguises. The 2 VIP patients will have to be acquired.
And banned are both trank guns and seekers, so those items only, which means obviously things like Snail and the Remote Medic are all fine. Obviously not relevant to this map specifically, but has been stated in the rules that if the item does exist on the map, you're still allowed to use those, you just can't bring them.
Yeah, which is a good point to make. For example, if someone were to ban the silence pistol, of course the pistol condition would still be allowed, but not the silence pistol anymore, because this particular season 1 location doesn't have any. But the lack of the dart guns will... I think the one thing it might have changed is the emetic strat for the ThatObserver, but he just does it anyway with the briefcase, which is usually quite buggy here, so good on him for making it work.
Yeah, I don't think that's ever worked in my history, so that's good for him. And now he's stuck with Yuki's guards being completely unresponsive. think you just have to bump them or go into their sight line, and then it'll break them out of that. But they are deaf from the start of the map.
There's not a lot of way out. Wonder if they react to the briefcase. No, not really. Oh, no, they do. But they should just call it in, and we can see the question mark in the distance. Oh no.
Instantly.
Joker struggling with a couple early restarts, getting Yuki at the gondola platform. It should be good for the second kill, but of course that also makes him miss the 2 patients. Matic has run out for that observer, but that's a target lockdown and doesn't even want to try to salvage it. Would be too risky, too much for too little. But it seems like Joker will have the advantage for the first time in this spin with a secured Yuki isolation. But of course, what can you do with these 2 targets? Jason can be itemless if you just do the, I guess, the soft mission story. Talking to him as, or like showing up to him as 47, and then he goes on his monologue about impersonating him. And he also did a lure for Dexter. And this should be a nice long ranger and the first kill down for Joker.
I think on spins like this, probably the most important part is just having a plan in mind. At the very start, I mean, there's nothing on Hokkaido you could say that's like nearing impossible level difficulty in the default spin pool, but when you end up with not only 2 unique disguises, but also the fact of like having to consciously think about what you're going to do in the beginning with having item bans and all that stuff. It's good that Joker seems to have a plan, and that is the lure with Portman on suit or patient, and hopefully he'll respond to this soon.
I think I just started hearing it, but no subtitle, which got me messed up for a second. But
And
yeah,
the
he's coming.
the ugliest suit in Hitman 3.
He's showing it to us from close by as well, taunting.
At least we don't attend the same social circles.
And no mirror KO either. That's good for him.
There comes Yuki, sick again. I guess you could say that if you make her sick at very early on, which is like not a mainline strategy because of how long she walks, I guess it seems a bit more safe then, because now it's 2 for 2 for observer. And
Usually what the bug is that she gets stuck trying to report the weapon and just stands in the corner forever. I have no idea what triggers that myself, so I guess doing it at the beginning, as you said, is the best way.
And that will be the first kill for him as well. Does it live? Target lockdown, but no one will hear that or be reported to. So now 30 seconds in-game time difference between the 2, 1 kill down each, but Joker has made quite the distance inside and will... So what's the EMP for in this situation? Probably just cameras? But surprising item choice here.
Maybe he was planning on key hackers being banned or something.
You heard that, right?
Oh, that could be like the one use
Yeah.
use hack. It's good to remember, and will probably be one of the threats for Hokkaido, which will no doubt go key hackerless in some of the time. But Joker with the second kill, and the important distinction here is that you have to wait until the soldier's objective is actually completed, so no instantly being able to change disguises like in other competitions, but no problems for Joker in this instance, and it's going to the exit now.
That's both targets down. Time to find an exit. We're done here.
Minor panic here. It's a bit of whoosh followed by the KO through a very close area, but now has the legal disguise to run to the exit, and Joker will take his own pick and gets the first point over Rivals Pro.
What's up with the sudden
I do have a done button, so I'll go ahead and accept that and update our scores. And then get us started on round 2 of this match here. Is only best of 3, so he could win it on this next one.
The balance
Number
of
2
this
is gonna
tournament.
be
Oh, yeah.
Berlin. Like, go ahead and grab these item bans from the players, and then I'll announce those in the post.
So I believe the ban process is done in DMs at the moment, unless... Yeah, that is fine. We just have to hear from them and then get the one item banned. We'll be curious to see map after map what items could be really banned. Berlin itself is minorly loadout restrictive in case of suit spins, because that most likely means the Raven start, which doesn't let you have a firearm in the first place, so additional firearm restrictions could be heavy on that spin, but of course that depends on what will be rolled for the second map.
Yeah, and I think Berlin is one of the items where, or the maps in the pool for Rivals Pro at least, where the item bans you could perhaps say are like the least impactful, because most of the map interactions are done with items on the maps themselves pretty consistently. And especially when you can bring in things like, Snail or Remote Medic if they ban guns. It's pretty easy to work around most of them.
Yeah, I think along the way, the task of eliminating 5 targets, which is more than the loadout slots you have, I guess taught the players to approach the map without these crouches, or like crotches, I guess, the items that you need to use. Of course, it's far from a no loadout map, and there can be those annoying disguises for which you really like those snails or pneumatic devices. So I'm curious if that will be the direction people take, like banning items, or they will keep at the pistols for another map. And it's a good question by New England Patriots, that you can ban any of the items, and that will also mean that the reskins are also banned. So of course you ban one silenced pistol. Okay, I will have to double check if do you only ban the ICA variants or all non-silenced pistols, but that is a possibility.
It would be, as far as I understand the rules, it would be all silenced pistols in the loadout, and that would include things like the Kruger that have the subsonic as well, obviously.
Yeah, that's a good point. And this would mean for the spin is that if you still have a silenced pistol on the map, then you can still have it as a condition. So in some cases you can minorly alter the conditions, the list of conditions, but it's only really one condition that you can influence, and that won't really be a factor most of the time either. And that's it's an amazing point. What would happen if the silenced pistol is banned but the spin contains a silenced pistol? Because technically you can still start bust stop. Yeah, it's probably I get suddenly really busy and won't be able to.
Yeah, I think in that case I would probably ask Punk, but yeah, it is an item you can find on the map technically. So let me check, make sure all the kill condition bans are still the same, as in none of them. Yes. So everything here looks good, and our spin should be ready to go here. Hopefully it didn't send it early, because I haven't updated the timer yet.
Looking good so far. Of course, they might see it, but I think it's the same system. If we see it on the stream, then they will as well, but we don't so far. Different map,
I have.
different spin-off course, but the same 2 items. The Chank and the Seeker is still out. Everything resets, by the way, between maps and matches. So
Yeah, they both ban the same items each time. The way the item bans work is the player bans first for their opponent's map pick, and then in the decider they'll ban simultaneously. So different order, but they ended up banning the same items. We'll see how much that impacts the spin that comes up here.
we'll also see if we can get to that simultaneous part. That will require an observer win. If it's a tie or a Joker win, then he wins.
Yeah, there is no fiber wire obtainable anywhere on Berlin, so that would be a condition ban essentially, and that's one of the interesting plans to consider. Is just trying to ban conditions you don't want to see. I think the spin should be live now.
It is with a no time limit, but
that. What?
That
well, the round duration is set at 30 minutes, so I don't know what else to do.
Not sure if you can press enter there one more time or just start at 30, but it is 26 past the hour, so we'll of course look at it always, and they will also know the rules, so not a lot of worries there. There we go, perfect.
So the spin is injected poison as club crew, consume poison as dealer, fire axe as suit, explosive weapon, any variety as Rolf Hirschmuller, and explosion accident as club security. I didn't reset it to 30 minutes between maps, but it was still set at 30. And then when I clicked on it, it set it to 0. So I guess that was just a visual thing on my end.
Gotta go the extra mile. But yeah, we can see the Joker with the silence pistol, and I think they will be both expecting this to go Raven into silence pistol start and then be rooftop ISO. And then of course you can have the divergent securities here and the propane for the first kill, or you can leave him up here for the fire axe as suit, injected poison and banner. It's a all very familiar start.
And we've got a lot of items you would want to probably bring in depending on the order that you do the spin, but of course the syringe, the vial, the explosive are all available on the map itself. So we'll see which players end up picking what out of their loadouts, both of them kind of going for the same strat. I imagine we'll see Observer with the lure upstairs as well.
Joker did opt for that security kill and change back to the suit already. That's the first kill of Berlin. Banner is going upstairs now for both targets. But the Observer is not going for that first kill.
I think we got a line on him.
Which of course... So we didn't see... No, he cannot have the breacher because he had the silence pistol unless I'm just completely messing up the two sides, but the Observer definitely on 0 kills and now going for the fire axe. Did he go all the way
just
up?
Grabbing the one that's right there.
Yeah.
That's his syringe as well that he remembers to pick up, and looks like he's going to go back up maybe for that explosion accident.
Bit of a back and forth, and will be about a 30-second advantage for Joker, but only 2 kills down and lots can still happen. With the one-handed SMG, that's the main difference here. Joker had a nice lock-on with the console aim assist for that propane.
And Joker is ready to grab Thames here real quick. Now that will get him a club crew disguise, but obviously he's not going to be able to use that same disguise for that injected poison kill. So I imagine this is going to be the explosive weapon is kind of the one viable thing that's left out of his kills.
He gets the chainler, barely though, but walking through the mountain of rubble. It will be the isolation and the third disguise. Drags the body right over the breacher.
Looks like Observer's going to grab the free disguise for Club Crew, and then it's anyone's guess as to where he'll go next. There's plenty of different options for him here.
Swan's
But I would
cycle is of
say-
course mostly favorable, just one throw away, but I think right now he's in a quite public area, so he has to wait for him. And he's not going to stay here. But speaking of Swan, Joker is approaching him.
Not even going for the kill in the open, shaking my head. He will end up getting the lure here, and that'll get him most of the way done with the spin. All he has to do is set up the consume poison. He probably has triggered, yeah, you can see, when he gets spotted there, that is not what he was looking for.
Of course it's not a rip here, but
Yeah, nobody heard that, because that window is solid.
Ran is still alive, but definitely a setback because now he cannot use this skill for any of the live ones, and he also has the explosive weapon setup and the 2 regular kills down, so this will definitely be a 6 agent kill after the 5 requirements are done.
Yeah, and Observer's got the injected poison down now. He's approaching maybe to set up the scooter food? Or is he planning on grabbing this explosive weapon? Because that agent does carry one for him if he wants to use that.
Loadents are definitely viable for both kills. Now it seems like a full-on isolation, and then that leaves Observer with Davenport, but that cycle is just coming up. I think it's 5:05, so definitely late for that.
Yeah, and we see Joker still has the pills in his inventory, so he hasn't set up that kill yet, which means he's not going to make that Davenport cycle. So his options are probably either Tremaine or the scooter as well. I mean, you could go for Rhodes with the Fumigator, but I don't know how worthwhile that would be. We do see him get that explosive weapon kill in the Rolf disguise.
But now quite a task here with the Consume Poison setup, finding the right timing for that, but also the dealer, which...
And still no injected poison kill for him.
That would be a Club Crew disguise, not really on this floor, so you cannot even eye out...
Well, there is one down here, but you would never get him. It's the guy that's cleaning the bathroom.
There you have it.
There's like 3 eyes on him.
So Joker gets past the obstacle of this super annoying enforcer once, but has to do it another time.
You just gotta go for the standard roleplay route for it.
Observer also grabbing the disguise. This time for Rolf with precise throw in the corner. It doesn't have to be precise, but Rolf goes for it, only he does.
Yeah, and we do have to be careful here. I think both players opted to KO Rolf and leave the bikers up, and they do have the body laying on the stairs, so hopefully that's far enough up that the bikers will be able to get to where they're going without having to walk past that body, which is the rooftop of the biker hideout.
And they go through the biker shortcut, but not the persistent shortcut, the actual shorter way back to biker place. I think if it's only Banner, I think it's only him, they are just a bit above that route, so they should be fine. That's a restart for Joker. I don't think that would be salvageable. Of course, Montgomery would turn his guns red, but immediately tell his body that he's compromised, and it's a big restart here. Observer now 7 minutes into his run, and it's a huge lead. With the
Observer,
yeah.
sorry, Observer, I imagine is going to have to do this explosive kill on exit, so he's going to have to figure out this consumed poison kill first.
Yeah, looks like an up and down case here. Approaching the 9-minute mark, which would be the next Davenport cycle, right about there, but he's gatekept by
Great timing on
here.
Montgomery.
I imagine there would be a really niche situation of trying to serve him a drink. I've never seen that here. I'm not sure if you have an angle here for him. Of course, it requires partner.
I guess I'm not sure if it would, for Swan at least, when you go to serve him at the bar, if you leave at all before he dies, he'll stop drinking.
Oh, great.
So it's only possible in bartender. I've never served Montgomery, so I have no idea if it's the same thing for that, but he's now stuck in place as Montgomery has his little talk here, and then with the undercover bartender as well. And that is that body found on the stairs. I don't know if he KO'd anybody else. I would imagine that would have been Banner, but I don't know why the disguise would have been taken.
No, it had to have been Lowenthal, right? The same two bikers,
okay,
but
later
in the cycle.
Okay,
oh
yeah.
There's just always such a risk not KOing two agents, bikers. Because
yeah, even if like mentally I think that there's nothing for them to find, I always just knock them out anyways.
Of course, the
it's
more
not common. It's not common that I leave Lowenthal on the floor there, but he's very buggy. You know, I don't even know who you're talking about, Moo, but I agree.
I think the dealer was the conversation there, and he definitely is on the more buggier side of the NPCs.
Tranken Seeker with the item bands as well.
Very dartless affair so far in this map. Hokkaido also decided in Joker's favor without Seekers and Calmers. That was with the two unique patient disguises, but now it's more of a challenge and many more restarts, heavier ones as well.
And Joker's played a good amount of catch-up here after that first rip. He's got that explosive kill. Again, I think he probably has the same plan, and he's just going to try to avoid getting spotted, getting that instant full spot when they do that full head turn to the side.
Yeah, that's true. I think that was a snowball kind of setback, probably just making him agitated and run much slower. So if this works out and he has the third kill, it's not a lot that Joker can do to be stopped here. Of course, consumed is not straightforward, but that will be set up in no time. It's first 1.5, so Jaw does win it for Joker. But Observer...
Push pacify. I've never seen that prompt there before.
It's good to know for probably no reason at all.
Bingo.
Yeah,
Bingo,
yes.
Let's go. Push pacify a guard.
Amazing. 3 kills, and he's going down for Rolf at least. Probably pop him for the 4th kill and get dealer, and then resurface for the usual suspects for consumed. That's a hilarious comment and very true, so I have to mention it as well, that there are technically some darts that are allowed, and it is the serpent tongue last DLC item, the fleshy gun, the fleshy dart gun. Observer with slightly different target order is now also on 3 kills in 3 minutes. We'll see the 4th kill setup, but both of them still have to go all the way down and all the way up probably, unless the Observer has a really risky and very well optimized consume poison setup here. Otherwise, Joker is just simply ahead on this straightforward finish of a spin.
That's our 4th man down. My god, this is an embarrassment.
we're gonna see Chamberlain's probably gonna walk into this room, so hopefully he doesn't get ripped here. Oh, but he is Rolf, so he'll be fine with that.
We need to man up. Target spotted, disguised as Rolf Hirschmuller.
I think the ultimate flex has got to be bringing
Understood. I'll be
the
ready.
serpent's tongue in the ear loadout. Just completely waste the slot.
Or waste your ban and just mention it that I'm just gonna ban it.
Yeah, that's gonna be the item I choose to ban in my first match for sure.
Yeah, I'm not sure how specific we can go with the bans. I think nothing is off the table, so I'm considering banning the Okinawan Tonfa. How's it called? Just in case.
Get that concealable baton out of my opponent's loadout.
Yeah. Joker with the 5th ban. There we go. I'm so messed up now. With the 5th disguise, Observer with the 4th setup. Both of them are really nicely on course to finish this spin. Not just once, I think they could even restart and do it again, but Observer with the nice shortcut here down the pipe, and we'll probably get 4 out of 5 before Joker's out, but still too much of a difference right now.
Target spotted, disguised as Rolf Hirschmuller. Montgomery, I think he's headed your way. Stay alert.
Yeah, it looks like.
Got it. I'll let you know if I need
Never
backup.
mind. Is he gonna go for the? Yeah, he's going for the bartender disguise, which means he's probably just gonna wait the Davenport cycle. Which I think from this point is probably gonna be like almost the same amount of time as doing the scooter mission story, depending on where that cycle is at. So perhaps not the fastest, but I mean that kill is secured at this point. All he has to do is stand by an exit. So
Even if not the fastest, it is the fast enough strategy to carry this run to the end.
Bar some freak accident, I think that essentially secures the match here on Joker's end.
That would have to be some revolutionary bug by Joker, and I think knowing this, he's going for...
Or him following him too closely.
Agent Davenport reporting in.
Yeah.
Outside of target.
Well, he's lost 10 seconds with this, but
Is it-
still going to find the
And
public
if I
exit.
know Joker, I know that he is going for the
Stay alert.
UFO exit if he knows what's good for him.
He could actually do it. Summon Chebiat for this.
Yeah, it would not be the first time in a roulette match.
But sadly just a lame bike exit, which is rare enough on its own right, but
Yeah. I don't think I've ever used it in roulette.
it's probably only for these situations. But then again, there are still closer exits, but he is still kept, and I wanna say it's still 9:05 plus the delay, so probably in about a minute we have the finish from Joker.
Lovely commentary from Moo.
And very exciting wait, and as the Observer will end this on 3 out of 5 because he's going for the dealer first. He did get Rolf. He would have the chance to
Target spotted, disguised
top
as
rope the
Rolf
breacher.
Hirschmuller.
Oh wait, no, he does not, because it's a C4 for Lowenthal, so
Yes.
understandable, sadly. So 5-3 on this Berlin.
Oh, it's saving. Auto save. There we go.
Ominous.
So that'll be the dealer kill, and that'll get him out of there sub 10. Let's see if I have a done. I do, as long as I see the 5 stars in the next screen here. Kappa. Alright. So that will be a 2-0 win here for Joker J on round 1. Of course, Observer will not be out. If I can bring up the tournament page here really quickly, I can update that, and then we'll see how that affects the brackets.
Yeah, it reminds me to ask for permission, but we'll settle it soon enough. But in the meantime, I can show the brackets once they are updated and the upcoming matches tab. Do not go anywhere, because in 15 minutes we will already have the second match of the tournament starting.
All right, let's see. Joker and Observer. This is not the menu that I wanted. All right. Be a 2-0 win. Go ahead and update that. I think that should have pushed it through.
With that lovely transition, and my settings not being saved, we'll have to just interact to a very specific spot, but you can see Jokerj with a 2-0 score, and he will be in round 2, ThatObserver, as the loser of winner's bracket round 1.6. He will be...
I'm glad it didn't update the bracket, even though
it's sometimes in some tournaments it's in 2 steps, because it's not the automatic scoring.
Yeah. All right, I fixed him to actually have changed it manually, so I think it'll be good now.
I can check. Of course, tournament would expect us to do go-off scoring sometimes, we just cannot always give it to the one with more points, but the observer will be waiting the loser of the winner's bracket round 1.7, which is either Yanini or Mu. Jokerj waiting the winner of that matchup. As we mentioned, we will have our next match in just 15 minutes now, 14. Maybe a bit of delays if it's the first day adventures, but I think we went through quite fine. Nezuko-chan will play Maddie Spice in just short while. That will be casted by Caban. We will give him a raid after the idle screen and making sure he's online and ready to go. One more match for the night, which is Rocky versus myself at 9:30 p.m. Central European Summer Time until tomorrow, where there will be the early evening and a late evening match between Maddie and ChrisX3, our co-caster today, and Mika versus Papir later that night. So that should be it from us, and thank you, Chris, for joining me on the co-cast and the adminning for this match.
Thanks for having me as always, and see you.
Always a pleasure, and let's see more matches then, hopefully. Thank you all for watching. GG's everyone, and see you next time.